Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. Russian occupying forces continued attacking Ukraine with drones overnight and into the morning of February 6th. Explosions were reported in several cities, and western regions of the country were also under threat of air attack. 2 people were killed in a Russian strike in the Zaporizhzhia region, with 5 others wounded. According to local authorities, Russian forces struck the city with a drone, destroying a private house. Following the overnight attack in Zaporizhzhia, 12,000 consumers were left without power. In April, 1 man was killed as a result of drone strikes, and 2 more people were wounded. Russian forces also struck a multi-story residential building in Sumy, where a drone leaving 1 man with burns. Meanwhile, in Russia, the city of Belgorod came under fire from Ukrainian forces. Authorities reported damage to the city's energy infrastructure, as well as to several districts across the region, with power and heating outages noted. The Belgorod mayor said that the city was hit by a massive missile attack. Sources close to Russian security services claim that the strike was carried out using HIMARS systems. According to Russian media, a local electrical substation was struck, with residents reporting 5 separate hits. The governor of Bryansk region also said that Ukrainian forces carried out new strikes on energy infrastructure, leaving several settlements without power. And now moving to the front line, analysts from the Institute for the Study of War assess that Russian strikes activity is likely to slow down. The institute evaluated the impact of Starlink disruptions on the battlefield, concluding that blocking satellite connectivity will force Russian forces to reduce the tempo of strikes against Ukrainian logistics. This impact is expected to be most prominent on the Pokrovsk axis, where Russian units have actively relied on satellite communications for drone targeting. Analysts note that Ukraine's efforts to block Russian access to Starlink terminals will likely undermine the Kremlin's attempt to conduct aerial battlefield isolation. According to the ISW, without Starlink terminals, Russian forces will likely be unable to sustain battlefield isolation operations at the same pace or depth as in recent weeks. In particular, Moscow forces had been using Starlink-supported drones for real-time target acquisition and to extend drone range for strikes against moving targets, including trains as well as Ukrainian transport along the E50 highway between Pokrovsk and Pavlohrad in the Dnipro region. Hiding in thick fog, Russian units attempted a new mechanized assault near the village of Kherson in the Donetsk region. Moscow's forces used 2 captured M113s, an infantry fighting vehicle, and small infantry groups for the attack, looking to quietly cross the line of contact and penetrate into the settlement. Thanks to the coordinated response of Ukrainian units, some Russian equipment was destroyed on approach, and the infantry group were eliminated. The Russian losses confirmed the effectiveness of operational defense, even in difficult weather conditions. Moving on, the clip coming up shows the everyday efforts of a Ukrainian anti-aircraft team as it hits an enemy Shahed strike UAV from close range. The operator opened fire with a machine gun, demonstrating high accuracy and control as the target approached. The drone was destroyed before it could cause damage to Ukrainian positions or civilian infrastructure.
Есть! Есть! О! Есть!
A video has appeared online showing a Russian soldier recording the aftermath of an unknown munition striking his vehicle. The footage shows the vehicle sustained significant damage. The occupier himself appears clearly surprised and confused.
Ехали обратно, и какая-то под УАЗиком. Не знаю, что, и он сразу вспыхнул, сами едва успели оттуда. Короче, вот такие вот дела. УАЗик.
Available footage of Kostiantynivka in the Donetsk region, about 20 kilometers from Kramatorsk, show the once vibrant city as nothing more than a sea of ruins. See, the area was almost undamaged just a few months ago. It is now packed with burned-out high-rise buildings and other raised structures. The images show the scale of damage to civilian infrastructure caused by constant shelling and combat operations. The situation highlights the importance of controlling urban combat zones and how difficult rebuilding the housing sector will be after prolonged attacks.
Твоя квартира. Только что был прилет. Вот там вот в беседке 2 трупа.
Staying near Kostiantynivka, in this last clip, see FPV drone operators from the Hishak Brigade continue their systematic work to destroy Russian forces and equipment. Springing frequent ambushes, they impose their own rules on the enemy. The footage coming up shows a destroyed ground autonomous vehicle of the Hedgehog type. It was additionally fortified with an anti-drone grille, but that did not save it from a precise hit. Along with the vehicle, enemy infantry was also eliminated. The position of enemy UAV pilots was detected and destroyed, along with several dugouts. And with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.